Hey YouTube, we are back with another season of Love is Blind. We are officially season 3. The pods are open. We have new singles that are ready to mingle, to match, to get engaged, and hopefully in about 4 weeks get married. So we're going to unpack this. Welcome back to Romance Review TV with Lady T. Got another recap for you guys. Love is Blind, Season 3, Episode number 1 and 2. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump this season off and unpack this. Okay, so our host and hostess are back, the Lachey's. We have all of our men and our single women that are ready to mingle, and we're going to start off talking about each of them and how this second episode ended with 2 engagements. Okay, so our first single lady is Alexa. She's funny, she's cool, she's confident, but it looked like she got a little bit of insecurity lurking beneath that facade. Now, she is close with her family. She seems like she's genuinely looking for love. She doesn't seem like this whole, how a lot of people come to these shows just to be an influencer. So we'll have to see. Time will tell, but it seems like so far so good with Alexa. Then we got Mr. Andrew. Now, Mr. Andrew, I don't know if he was putting out his representative or that was actually him. Now, he actually had conversations around a man's first orgasm without ejaculation. And I hope YouTube don't get me for that one. But anywho, he had a whole monologue about how he had this transcendental sexual experience and everything with a woman that was, I think, 41 years old. And I think he's a lot younger. But, he did make headway, which we will talk about later, but I wasn't too sold on Mr. Andrew. Now, Bartise is a younger guy. I think he's like 25, 26, but he's like one of what you would describe a person with an old soul. It seems like he's ready for marriage. He's ready for kids. He has a great attitude. I think he might want to settle down. I guess, we'll have to see, but it seems like he's ready. But, in that age group, a lot of women have overlooked him thinking that he's not ready. So we'll see how Bartise pans out. Then we got Brennan. Brennan is a down-home country boy. He loves big gatherings, cooks a mean shakshuka, and wears a cowboy hat all year round. Now, he's not afraid to be vulnerable. And I'm wondering why a guy like that, usually that's open like that, hasn't been able to find real love in the real world. So we'll have to see. It'll all come out, as time go on. Cole. Some people described him as Barnett mixed with Shane from last season. And yeah, it doesn't do him justice. Alexa had a reaction to him that didn't go well. Now, Cole was married before to a person he only dated for 2 months. So this show obviously has nothing on him. And he's 26. So we'll see how Mr. Cole pan out. Then there's Miss Colleen. Now, she's 25, and she leads with the fact in this particular 2 episodes that she's a ballerina. But then she complained about how guys are attracted to her only because she is a ballerina. So she wants somebody to see past that and hopefully find someone that sees the substance of who she is on the inside versus the ballerina life. Now, Matt is very laid back. He's very reserved. He's 27. Now, he's also been previously married. He was married to his high school sweetheart. They got a divorce after she cheated on him and then got pregnant by that same guy, which was the other man. And yeah, that was a deal breaker, of course, and that was over and done. Now, this bubbly young lady is Nancy. She's a speech pathologist that's 31. She wants 10 kids. And I guess she had this whole crying session for the first time that we saw in this particular episode. But hopefully she can find somebody who wants 10 kids. But we'll see. Miss Raven is a Pilates instructor, and not only did she have classes with the ladies, we'll see later on that she also tried to have classes with who she's engaged to. Anyway, she's 27. She is obsessed with fitness. I mean, yeah, I mean, like I said, with the girls, with the guy, and I mean, hey, if you're into it, fine. But yeah, we'll talk more about Miss Raven later. And then we have SK. SK, you can tell basically what he does. He's a data engineer, very methodical, very rational. He is from Nigeria and is going to UC Berkeley in the fall for grad school. And yeah, I'm wondering how that distance is going to, manage whoever he meets up with. He's 34 and he wants an educated wifey who is not ignorant at all. Okay, and then there's Zenip. Now, she's 31. She's a flight attendant. She lost both of her parents when she was younger. And yeah, let's see who she meets up with, because I know she tends to kind of be very, I don't want to use the word OCD, but she is very, very critical about everything. So we'll see how she pan out and who she ends up with. So now the introductories are out the way. We're now closer to the end of the second episode. So let's talk about who's engaged. We got Alexa and Brennan and Cole and Zanab. So let's talk about Alexa and Brennan first. These two are too cute because Brennan calls Alexa his little lobster. And you know what? They did have a lot of discussions around fundamental differences, especially Alexa's Jewish faith and how Brennan's family is going to react to that. And you know what? These are the type of conversations that they should have about core values and things like that. I mean, so many conversations are surface, but you need to talk about what religion is going to look like when, families and lives are combined, or how will we raise our kids. Now, one thing both about Brennan and Alexa, they are children of divorce. They get very vulnerable with each other very fast. I mean, it's pretty interesting, to say the least, how well they mesh together. I mean, even Alexa warns that Brennan is in for crazy mess, toxic obsession, but he don't even care about that. He was like, this is the most perfect thing that he has done in his life. And, everything, when they saw each other for the first time, it was a beautiful thing. Their voices were quivering, but they seemed to pretty much gravitate naturally to each other. And, even though they have a little awkwardness, they look like they'll be pretty good. We'll have to see what happens over the next 4 weeks. And then the other engagement was Cole and Zena. Now, I'm wondering if he actually want to be married as much as he want to study abroad, because he was grilling Zena about Thailand, which I would think we can all imagine that he will enjoy being a digital nomad. Now, when he revealed that he married someone after 2 months of dating and then got divorced 4 months later, it kind of gives the impression that maybe he doesn't approach decisions with thought and with care. He did also share about living in a studio apartment without a couch. Yeah, so is he actually ready for what comes with being married? And then I know with Zena, she don't want to do life alone anymore. So I'm hoping she's not putting herself in a situation where she tends to just settle with anybody. I mean, age differences can definitely be overcome in a relationship, but is he going to be steady enough to provide the same energy that maybe she's looking for? They have their proposal. I don't know if it will actually work, but we'll have to see as the 4 weeks continue. Okay, so those are our two proposals. We still had other conversations going on in the pods. So let's talk about Nancy and Andrew. And he's the same guy that quoted about Alain de Botton during dates, and who's saying things like, I've been face to face with leopards and lions tearing apart their meal. And do you like kissing? And, maybe he could look into something else. I don't know. I just did not see it with especially Andrew. I know Nancy was pretty much giving him the side eye, and that had to be a wild story for Nancy to actually hear everything that he had to say. And yeah, she wants 10 kids. So I don't know if that's something. They're in two different spaces. So that was a no-go for me. Then the conversation switched to Nancy and Bartise. Now, remember, Bartise is 25. Now, he seems like an old soul because he really wants marriage and family. That was a little bit of her hesitation. And then there's probably going to be a little bit of insecurity on Nancy's end, especially being the older woman in the relationship, and not being able to compete with women in Bartise's age group. Now, it shouldn't matter if he's all focused on her, then it is what it is. That doesn't mean that somebody might not go there. But they do have a lot of fun together. They actually complement each other in a lot of different ways. So we'll have to see as we move into the next two episodes what happened with them. Now, we can't leave Bartise just yet because he had a conversation with Raven, who looked like they might be a stronger couple. Now, they balance out each other personality-wise, but Bartise decided not to move forward with her because when he was putting his heart-to-heart out with her, she kind of didn't give the energy that he was expecting. And it did seem like Raven realized that she wasn't pretty much picking up what Bartise was putting in her direction with what he put his heart out about. He wants a partner to kind of make him feel better. And she says that they clearly have different values, which now moves us over to SK because Raven actually decided to make him her primary focus, which, okay. I don't see the chemistry there, though. I mean, he did propose later, but, as we see kind of later on, kind of jumping ahead, she pretty much gave him the silent treatment, and she faced the door, eventually deciding to say yes, but I don't think she was 100% in, but we'll see how they unfold. Which now brings us to Colleen. Now, Colleen and Cole also had a conversation, and Cole calls her out for not being able to go deep, which, I found that pretty surprising, especially with Cole. Now, Colleen says that she's not used to accessing her vulnerability. She says that she's not shallow, but she is comfortable with keeping things surface level. In fact, she told Cole that she's never been attracted to emotional intimacy or gone for that in past relationships, which I find that interesting as a woman because most women look for emotional connection. Yike. And that could be, she probably could have connected with someone local before coming in this particular process. But at the end of the day, Cole decided to move away from, this conversation. Of course, we all know that he moved on with Zeni. But then there's Brennan, who also did not move forward with her. But then there's Matt. So Colleen then goes to Matt and confesses that she's scared to reveal her true self. Matt opened up about his previous marriage and subsequent divorce and admit that he hasn't told anyone the details that he's telling Colleen. And then she tells Matt that she is ready for that serious relationship. Good news, so is Matt. But I gotta say, at some point, you're gonna have to dig deep and get vulnerable. So hopefully Colleen can eventually feel comfortable and a safe space to open up with Matt. And I could think that he would give her the opportunity to do that. But only time will tell. And we have to stay tuned for the next couple episodes to find out. Okay, so let's get the conversation started down in the comment section. What do you think about how the season is starting off with our singles, with our newly found couples, a couple of the engagements that we got in the first and second episode? And let me know your thoughts. So stay tuned for the recap for episode number 3 and 4. And then they will drop the remaining episodes on October 26th. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see you soon. Bye.